I'm too high, never falling out the sky.
Hello, how's it going? Yeah, that's right. I got a motherfucking setup now. Shit's fire. Shout out to my brother Joel for helping me out with that, and it was a happy holiday gift, and I am very happy for the holidays. So, I had an idea, an epiphany, an awakening, even. Some might one might say even maybe. So I was taking a shower and I was like, you know what? I should make a video today. And with the promise of not putting in any effort, I wanted to keep it off script. So I thought that I would be reviewing. Oh, yeah, it's a nice little crinkle pop. Anyway, I thought that it would be fun if I reviewed my most played songs, excluding SoundCloud. So that's what we're gonna do today. So I'm gonna go with the top 5 in the order from least to most played, because I gotta give you guys a little bit of something to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? The first one is Get a Bag from my very first album, The Enigma. And it's the very first song on the track list, and it has 1,900 plays. So we're gonna give that a listen. I'm gonna give you guys my honest reviews and a little bit of kind of like some in-depth details. Maybe you might not have known. You probably didn't know at all. All right, here we go.
Yeah, it's about time I get a bag, bought stuff in that gut, spending all the time I have.
So for the hook, I actually pitched down my voice like 2 times and then layered it. And on the original track, when I pitched down my voice, I was like, day to day I spend my time with AB Mad, here I am. Yeah, I literally was trying so hard to make it deeper.
Here's the thing, you want to reign, but can't work hard to be a king. Ay, know that I love what I do.
God, that bass is so good. It's one of my favorite beats I've ever made.
I am what's new. I do what I gotta do. Fuck your opinion, I prove what I prove. Shit on your letter, you done coming through. Talking shit by my work, think you might need some proof. That's in it to win it. I came to blow up, but I'm the lieutenant, and this is my house.
God, this Pathos was a different Pathos, I'm telling you. Oh, shit.
You got the latest, bitch get a taste. Ride for me, die for me.
And in that part, I say, bitch get a taste. I was trying so hard to make it rhyme.
You look like a kid. I've been sick, but I'm better now. I've grown and I'm back now. I got better stats now. Yeah, get the shit right now.
So in that part of the song, I say I was sick, but I'm better now. I'm actually referring to the song I released only a couple months prior, Sick, that was on my EP, Look At Me Now. I love this drop. So the reason why I tried to make my voice deeper, obviously besides it being super nasally, naturally, my label was like, you gotta, with this song, you gotta be a little bit, hard, you know what I mean? You gotta be like, like come with it, like a fucking gangster basically. And so this is my version of what I think a gangster is. It's not very good, but yeah, I mean, I was heavily influenced by the label at that time. Obviously, I have a lot to thank them for, and it was so great the time that I spent with them. But obviously, you can see how it kind of, it influenced it. So, Get a Bag was like quite the introduction to my first album. I remember specifically having a conversation with with the CEO of BGB. His name was Cyrus, and he was like, this is your first album. You got to come hard with it. You got to let them know what's up. And so I remember we used to actually buy our beats from different producers before I made the Enigma. It was like we were trying to make the Enigma. There was actually 3 versions of it that we were trying, that I eventually ended up making. one which ended up being The Divided, the very first one being Seven, and that was the one I made right before they signed me, and then we scrapped it, and then I made the second version, which ended up being The Divided and Storyteller. So The Divided actually came out on all platforms, and Storyteller ended up being just a SoundCloud release. It was like both of them were very short EPs. That was actually supposed to be one cohesive album. That was supposed to be the Enigma. And then eventually I was able to make the Enigma. But in that time, during that process, we were trying to get with different producers and stuff like that. And I told them basically that I didn't want to, I was used to working alone, basically. And it was the only time I had ever produced with anybody else was Elijah Mendez. Shout out to you, my boy. He used to make all my beats in the beginning, and I would just focus on writing. But eventually I was able to pick up GarageBand on my phone, and so the entirety of the Enigma is on GarageBand mobile. I made everything, the recording, the mixing, mastering, the beats, all of that. So what you just heard was all made on my phone. And it was made in like the span of like 6 to 8 months. And it's something I'm very proud of, but basically at first the label was very against it because they were like, need a standard of quality. And I basically said, if I can make beats better than the producers that we're paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars to, better than they can, then you have to let me make this album like on my phone. And eventually that's what ended up happening. So little tidbit fun fact about that. So yeah. So Get It Back gets a, let's do out of 5. Get It Back gets a 4 out of 5 from me because of the impressive production value despite it being on a phone, and because I'm very proud of it. It's something I hold dear. It's like my first song on an album ever. So, 4 out of 5 for the Enigma. So the next song on this list is actually from my third album. It's the song called Come Home, in which I basically talk about why I'm leaving music and all that, and then I went on a year hiatus. That was a time and a thing that happened in my career. Anyway, this one has 2,700 plays in total, and it's like the 6th or 7th track on the track list for Validated. So let's check it out, let's see what's going on. One fun fact about the song, I actually was listening to Lil Skies, and if you know his music, you can see how this might have been inspired by that. And these vocals in the beginning were also heavily inspired by my choir background. I got made fun of a lot in high school when I first released all my stuff. I deserved it. I was terrible. Now I know that I gotta leave. I should have ran home. It's time to come home. There's a lot of clipping in this song due to my Now I know it's not it. Thought that I could swim, so I kicked my feet. It's time for me to go, it's time for me to leave. I hope you understand it's how it has to be. I loved all my friends, thank you for loving me. Yeah, it's hard to realize it, but God, you can tell I really found out about autotune. I will say this album is really has a special place in my heart because it was almost like a better version of the Enigma, because I came with so many different kinds of sounds on Validated. You didn't know what the next song was going to be or sound like, and so I can really appreciate that.
But now I understand my past another way.
And I would say that this song is probably one of my first attempts at like a pop kind of, like a trap pop kind of thing, you know. I really like the melody.
Now I know it's not and it's drowning me. I gotta face reality, see where I am. I'm nowhere that I wanna be, I lost the plan. This shit has been killing me, I'm half a man.
I was very sad during this time, honestly, and it's okay because obviously it was like I'm okay now, but like it just goes to show how much my music means to me, because at this point in my career, it's not really a career, right? This is just like the come up. But I just love and pour my heart and soul into this music so much that when I saw that people, or when I thought that I saw that people weren't listening to it, it really did a number on me. And so I completely understand it when artists, like big artists, have meltdowns and stuff, and because it truly is, it's an art, you know, and that's part of you in that song. So when it came to Come Home, it was a very hard song to make for me, just because I felt like this was the goodbye, this was the, you know, it's time to come home, basically, like pack your bags and go home, right? You tried. So for me, it was like, yeah, this is a goodbye. This is it. So I was fully prepared to never come back. Obviously I did. And if I ever really did stop making music, I wouldn't actually stop making music. I would still make music for myself. I just wouldn't release it. And basically that's what I did after Validated. So Your Name and Stressing 4, those were songs that I made after Validated or during, but I just sat on them and then released them as singles. And then there really was a good amount of time where I didn't make any songs or any music. When I eventually started making music again, it was for the return and nothing more. Like I just made the album and then boom, you know, I released it. And that's because I had a lot to talk about, you know what I mean? Come Home gets a 1 out of 5 for me. I'm just kidding. It gets I'd say a 3 out of 5, mostly because there was a lot of clipping. I don't generally like listening to this song because it's depressing. The melodies were good, but it's not one of my favorites. So moving on to the next song, we have Smoke. Now this song is from the Divided EP, and it boasts a good 8,000 plays. Honestly, it's a lot more popular than I thought it would be, but that's how it usually goes with my music. I usually have my favorites that I love, and then my fans go and fuck me and go play other songs that I am like, why that one? Are you kidding me? That song? But anyway, I love all my songs obviously because I make them, but sometimes I'm just like, why do you guys like this song better than this one? But anyway, I guess we all have our own taste, even in my music. Anyway, so let's do it. So I distinctly remember this song being one of the first beats that I had made for the Enigma. And obviously it didn't end up being for the Enigma, but that's originally what it was for. And I remember making it and being like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Chef's kiss.
Been smoking trees, fuck my life up, and that's on me.
That
Before
bass.
I realize I even had a dream. I got a girl
picked
pregnant
bass.
at 16. It ain't what it seems. Looking up and I seeing the stars gleam. I wonder where I'd go if I could fly, run away from the world. Anyway, all they wanted was for me to get out the house. I hate it all, in real talk, I'm not living it all. I'm off the wall, been smoking trees, waiting for snowfall. I stand back, let the world go, watch reality stacking. It's so
Obviously, I
wild,
did
living
not
day to day, but I can see
discover
them all.
autotune. So
You don't know
these
me,
are bit
but I know
pitchy.
you. See you in the halls looking brand new. I despise you, I just like to run you over with the fucking con. Cause you don't know who I am, you don't know me. Call yourself an honest, but don't know shit. You ain't been out there in the world alone with their parents or a place to call home. That should be me, not your bitch ass. Cause
So
I'm
this
going through it, you just
song's
swimming cast. Do I
conception
hate you?
actually
Cause
has
of all
one
you
of the
done, I hate
most
myself more,
interesting
'cause my life is
stories
done.
behind it, I think, out of all my music, and I'll
Yeah, my
tell you
life is
guys
done.
once it's over. Hey mama, I don't know if you got my last message yesterday. I just
I just got robbed last night. I was just checking up on you. I don't know. I just want to come home.
So originally there was supposed to be more that happened there. There was supposed to be a dial tone ringing and then the voicemail. I lost that version. I'm not sure how that happened, but and I ended up only being able to find this one, and that's what I ended up uploading for the Divided.
I got kicked out, I got no job, had no friends.
This song is the most depressing song I think I've ever
I
made.
think I'll call. Fuck this world, I'll end it all on my terms. Tired of waiting for my turn. That's bullshit, I'm fucking done with her. Now I'm done with life. Jumped off a bridge and now I see the light. I called you twice, mom. I called you twice, but you ain't reply. So now your son died.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Mama called for you.
The crazy thing is that this is like a mediumly fabricated story, but it's mostly true. So, the conception of this song was wild. I am not going to say any names, but just for the privacy and protection of others, I went to a fairly small high school. It was 4A. Everyone kind of knew everybody. I knew everyone in my class, at least. And there was this kid. He was in the same class as me, but we lightly knew each other. We knew of each other. Like I said, I'm not gonna say any names, but essentially, what ended up happening was one day we were in history class, and he hadn't shown up for most of, I think it was junior year. Like most of junior year, he wasn't even there. I think he was there for like the first couple of days of junior year, and then right before the end of the first semester, he showed up for like finals and stuff like that. And whatever. I'm not really into people's business or anything like that, but I did ask. I was like, "Hey, where you been, man? Like, what's up? How are you?" And he was like, "Oh well, I have been homeless for the past semester." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Wow, that is not what I expected. Obviously, if I knew the answer, I wouldn't have asked, okay? And he didn't have to be that honest, okay? He just was. So he basically told me stories of things that happened while he was homeless, and that he technically still was, but he was staying with a distant relative. So in that time, he actually hadn't had any place to stay. He got robbed outside of the local Whataburger near our school at gunpoint, and the reason he was kicked out was because of they caught him smoking weed or something like that. And I mean, this was 2019. So I think it was only legal in a couple of states at that point, and it's I live in Texas, so super conservative state. And so basically, said that he was at school that day to unenroll himself because he had just turned 18. And since he was living with a distant relative, they didn't really know or have any, control over him. They were just trying to help him out. And so he unenrolled from school that day. And I had never heard from him again. And I wrote that song, Smoke, during my, it was like the next semester of that junior year, but it wasn't released until my senior year in my second semester. So for about a year and a half, I hadn't heard from him. No one had heard from him. No one knew where he went. And so obviously I took some liberties. He didn't go jump off a bridge or anything like that. What I did when I wrote this song was I put myself in that situation, that headspace of what would I do. And honest to God, I don't think I could survive. Because that kid, he's really he's so strong, because he when he was telling me his story, he was just blank face, like it was very matter of fact about it.
2,000 years later.
So I was actually interrupted by my baby boy. He was crying, so I had to cut the last video. Uh, Life of a parent. But yeah, so I was talking about Smoke. I actually had to go back and rewatch the video to see what I was saying. But yeah, basically he was very matter of fact about it, and so when I put myself in that situation, I was like, I could definitely most likely never survive that. Um, and you know, yeah, I've been depressed before in the past, and it had not the weight that he was carrying on his shoulders. That's a different kind of thing. So anyway, I have a lot of respect for him. Um, and the thing about it is that, so 2 years after I had dropped it, I ended up finding out that he's okay. He's good. He actually moved to Mexico, I think. Him and his girlfriend ended up having a baby, and they're living with her grandma, and it's so great. And so like, I'm just happy that they're good. But yeah, so yeah, Smoke had one of the most interesting conceptions. So for Smoke, I think I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5, because the conception was really cool. I mean, not really cool, you know what I mean, but was very interesting the way that it came about. I loved the production, the beat itself. Like I loved that beat. Like I loved that beat because it was one of the first I ever made for the Enigma. So I really mess with it. And then it's not a 5 out of 5 because of the vocals, and I don't mess with the vocals, honestly. I was not as good of a rapper singer back then. So yeah, 4 out of 5. Let's move on to the next joint. So this next joint is called "I'll Be Alright." It was from Validated. It is like the second to last song or third to last song on the album. So yeah, it boasts 12,000 plays. Thank y'all for that.
You and I just haven't been the same. We had the drop, but you kept switching lanes. Picture perfect, but you left a frame. A broken heart and a band-aid. Something wrong with the way we talk. Can't feel my legs, but I still walk.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Losing time, I can't rewind the clock. Ever since lessons, you gave up the chalk. And it sucks, cause the only way I cope is when I wanna sing. I built it out myself, but you weren't listening. An echo of the dream I used to feel in my sleep. Now I wake up to a nightmare, it's become reality. Don't ask for me, I'm in too deep. Life is an enigma, and for me I was divided into two. Looking at me now, what do I do?
Only real ones caught that.
I got my blessings and a view. Got some skies and then I grew like a tree. And it's time for me to leave. Turn my back on what my goal was, but it's not just as it seems. The stars gleam and I see a different world waiting for me in a galaxy. Going far, far away.
I really like that effect.
I'm happy, I promise you I am. I'm just going through a change. I'm in college, I'm a man, I got new friends. I know that I'll be cool. Yeah, your boy is acting, always leading. It's what I do.
I was in acting college, or in theater in college. There's a fun fact. Yeah, I'm really clever. I'm so clever. I love this because it's like, I was gonna go on a hiatus, obviously. I've talked about it so many times. And I went on the hiatus, but I was like, is it really goodbye? You stay up at night and you hear me on your left and right because you put in headphones and you listen to the song, and it's just like, oh. So I really feel like this song speaks for itself for the most part. It's definitely about me leaving music. It's about me saying goodbye. I'm moving on. I'll be all right. You know what I mean? And one of the things that I really enjoy about this is not exactly the song itself, but the fact that the style that I was going for is very much reminiscent of The Return. And I feel like going into The Return, like I took what I really enjoyed from Can y'all hear that? Because if you can, I am so sorry. She just does not care. She doesn't care. Shooting a video. Anyway, so yeah, this is Tilla, everybody. This is my cat. I love her. She's 12, 13 years old. But she don't act like it. Anyway, but yeah, so that's got to be one of my favorite aspects, is because it definitely doesn't feel like going through Validated. You have like Doubt, and then like the couple other songs. And that's kind of like emotional, it holds emotional weight. Then it goes into the trap, like I Can't Wait, and 100 on My Dash, Move On. I have all these different genres of music, like pop with Without You, and Finding Me being kind of like its own thing. It's dark, but it's emotional. So and then like moving into the last half, you have songs like these, which are like boom bap, emotionally charged. And then it later on, I released Stressing 4, and that's like exactly what The Return sounded like. So it's like I love that, because this is quite a turning point in my career, where you can see that I'm beginning to like move into other kinds of genres of music. And what is crazy is that I actually started making music with those kinds of beats first. I made my first EP ever as Pathos. Can you not lick? Hayden would be very pissed. Hayden would be pissed. Anyway, Hayden is my wife. So anyway, that's what I started off making music. Was as Pathos, and it was my first EP. I still remember the cover. Man, anyway, so I started off making music like that, and it's kind of cute that it comes full circle. So, anyway, I would be giving I'll Be Alright a 5 out of 5, because the production's great. I love the different things that I do with the vocals. It's not just rapping. I sing sometimes, and I do some really cool effects in there, and I can tell why it has 12,000 plays. So that feels really good. Yeah, 5 out of 5. That's our first. Moving on to the next. Next song is Clouds from A State of Originality, and I believe this is the fourth song on the track list. But yeah, all right, let's see if I fuck with it or not. Can you feel the clouds inside? No, I do not. Maybe you don't have to if you don't want to. Maybe I can say I tried. Hell yeah. Can you see the clouds outside? Fuck yeah. Maybe you don't have to if you don't want already to. Maybe you can always I'm not fucking with the production quality. I've got some shit to figure out above my head. I see a cloud in front of me. I feel a stride, I feel a stream coming down. And know I've gotta be proud of what I done so far now. So why am I so far down? Now I've only written what I'm feeling. Somehow I'm spreading it out. It's a bad start. I think the craziest part about going through all this music is finding that I no longer identify with these songs. Like I did at one point, obviously when I was writing it, but I don't identify with this music anymore, and it's cool because you can, that means you've grown. So I really appreciate that, being able to look back and be like, yeah, I'm past that now. I've grown. That's really cool. Baby, that's how I do. And when I'm feeling lost, I gotta take it back. I do fuck with the harmonies though. When I first started making these raps, it's very hard to maintain the way that I handle that. I let it get to me, the pressure made my mind snap. My heart cracked, but it's like that. Sometimes I just need to write that, just need to fight back, but I find that with every single second that I spend within a song, I be working harder in my life as I go on. With every single word that I be writing with the cause, I found auto-tune with this one as well. What I've lost and what I found, I mean it's nothing profound. Realizing that I'm really underground. I mean far, far down, feel the lava from afar, feel head and hear the sound. That was so sad.
And my
Jesus
focus to go
Christ.
further, to go farther. I'm the captain of the ship, and that's on Carter, but no halo in my vision's too alive.
Little Halo Reach reference for you.
Said too alive. Work so hard. Work
So hard. Work so hard.
Yeah, but so do
I
you.
literally
Who's
was
to
like,
say you ain't
work
able to
so
beat it?
hard.
Society want our meaning, they'll try to stop you, and it don't harm you. That's why you gotta push through. Don't let them move you. You better do you. You better fight them up.
I do like the message at the end though. Okay, that's
Don't let
fine.
them beat you. It could make you lethal. Just gotta see through the blinds. They're beneath you. Say they're beneath you, yeah. Can you feel the clouds inside? Maybe you don't have to if
The harmonies are pretty lit. I'm not gonna cap. They're pretty lit.
Can you see the clouds outside?
I just feel like the vocals could be better.
If you don't want to, maybe you can always hide.
So I put that little writing noise in. That didn't come with the beat. So this was a concept album. A state of originality. So I really go hard on the whole growth concept. So in a state of originality, it opens with all the music that I've made in the past. It basically leads me, to getting this job. Obviously, I graduate high school and all that before that, but basically, it's where I end up. I get this job, and I find myself, writing at work. I was stocking shelves, and I'll just get like a verse in my head, and then I gotta go write it down. And then the beginning, you can hear me clocking out and leaving. All right, bye guys. I go home, I make music, and then I come back the next morning. They ask me what I did, and I tell them nothing. I didn't really do anything, even though I made album. You know what I mean? And so, and that has to do with the fact that one, I don't really like talking about my music to anyone, unprovoked at least. Now, if they know I make music and they ask me about it, I'll talk to them about it. I just don't like burdening people about my music. So that's why I put it on YouTube. And then you can choose to click on it or scroll. You know what I mean? So it's a win-win for both of us. I get to get some shit off my chest, and you can choose not to listen to it. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a fair trade. Anyway. So yeah, anyway, the reason why I bring that up is because in Clouds you can hear the writing, and that's supposed to be me writing the song. In the beginning, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, no, that's good. That's me talking to myself in my head or whatnot. But anyway, like I said, it wasn't executed to the best of my ability. Now, to be fair, one thing that I really, really, really enjoy about Clouds is that, when I made all of ASO, I'm just going to call it ASO, a state of originality, it's just a mouthful. When I made all of ASO, I really was in a state of originality because I literally all the beats on this project were made by me except for Clouds. Beat, I actually bought it. But all the other ones were made by me. And I just felt super in my element when I was doing this. It was my first album away from, the label. So I really felt like I could do whatever I wanted. I wasn't told to go one way or the other. I could just go left or right, not have to worry about the consequences until later. But anyway, so I really enjoy that aspect. But as far as the rating, I'm not sure if I said this, but this song has 152,000 plays. 152 doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why Stressing 4 doesn't have that, but anyway, I get it. I understand. I get it. Anyway, so so stupid. Anyway, I'm I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5. And that might be a bit controversial. That is because I just don't like it very much, to be honest. I don't know what that was. But anyway, I don't like it because I don't identify with it at all. The lyrics, I don't identify with it. I really mess with the harmonies, but I feel like the vocals could be a lot better. The execution of what I was going for in the beginning, such as like the thought in my head and writing it down, like that was done very poorly. But yeah, I can see why a bunch of sad boys would listen to this and play this. I'm just saying, if you're a sad boy and you listen to this song, you can be sad to this song, So yeah, three out of 5 for me. Probably a 2 out of 5. Ooh, I'm sorry. It's a 2 out of 5. It's a 2 out of 5. Okay. Guess what? There's a bonus song. Yeah, because in between the 2 weeks that I recorded the first half, yes, 2 weeks, I recorded the first half, and this half, I found that I'm Just Not Out of It actually has 2.7K. And if you remember from the beginning of the video, Come Home has 2.7K. And actually, I'm Just Not Out of It has more plays than Get It Back. So, I'm gonna react to I'm Just Not Out of It. It's a bonus. So, I'm gonna do that real quick. This song started it all. The rest is history. I got picked up because of this song. I got signed because of this song. First music video ever. This song.
Living and killing this musical feeling. They getting
First performance ever. The song.
I'll kill it, I'll be lit long as I am littering. No, I'm gon' kill this shit. I should I never miss. I'm finna live it. Lyrics, I'ma never split. I ain't too tough to what's out of it. Not out of it. I'm just not out of it. No, I'm just not out of it.
I'm sorry.
I'm just not out of it.
So Elijah Mendez made this motherfucking beat. Shout out to you, my boy.
But I'm just not out of it. Back again like you notice they on me. Like Abercrombie. Following the mainstream. I'm calling in zombies. We live in a world where
so I performed this song my junior year
I'm just a kid with a
for the talent show.
Now make it a ritual, just let me get a bit of money up in a pad. Hold it crummy, no need for crummy. Quit acting dummy, and soon I'll be everywhere. No need to fight over 7. There's plenty that's
7. This was actually supposed to be for the 7 album.
I'm just not out of it. I swear I'll be doubting it, but I'm just not out of it. I'm just not out of it.
I don't know what I'm just not out of it means. I don't know what it means. I never have, and I never will. This song gets a 10 out of 5. 10 out of 5. I'm sticking with it. It's just too good. It's a banger. Revolutionary, one might say. Even. Maybe. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. Yeah, this song was one of my most amateur hits. But along with I Can't Help and My Unspoken Truths, I don't know why it blew up. I don't. I have no idea. Because it's just another mediocre piece of crap. I freaking hate this song and it's followed me everywhere. It has like almost 1,000 views on YouTube, like my music video. Yeah, brother. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But anyway, yeah. All jokes aside, this song probably does get a 5 out of 5. The only reason being is it has a special place in my heart because it is the song that I feel like kind of got me on the tiny map. So it felt pretty good when I was able to perform it. And it was my first performance as Pathos. It has the first music video I've ever made. And it was one of the first releases I ever released across all platforms. So, this really holds a lot of emotional weight. It has a special place in my heart. And And the cover art, if that's what you want to call it, is a screenshot of me, or is a screenshot that I took of just my notes, and I typed "I'm just not out of it" and screenshotted it into a perfect square because I didn't have any cover art ready when I released it. So the more you know. Anywho, yeah. So, gosh, this has just been such a fun walk down memory lane, and I really enjoyed doing this video. So let me know if you guys want to see more of it. I'm still working on getting that merch out. On top of that, I'm working on the music video for Without You, which is a banger I've been wanting to work on for like ever now. I've been wanting to do a music video for that forever. I love Without You. So yeah, stay tuned for all of that, guys. And I will see y'all next time. Say goodbye, Tilla. So she can lick the couch, but she can't say goodbye. Bye.
Oh, kiss and hug me, tell me lies, 'cause I won't find out. I never knew you were so lonely, but you're fine
So
now.
you were lying,
While I was
trying to move on away from you. And you were crying,
and I was
dying to move on and live my life without you.
I must be doing it right, you ain't heard of me. Break glass while they run for me. Still on the record of unbreakable, 100 feeling the range, but it's in as can be. You can't tame the heat, 1,000 degrees.